Morning everyone, another week of working on the truck. It was a rough week last week. Yesterday was cloudy all day. I welded all day and we were down at 23% battery this morning. So we are running a generator all day today to help recovery with the sun. Try to get back up. Today I'm going to work on some parts for the water tank because I want to get the water tank installed. And so what I want to do is fill out this X so that I have a smooth surface for the tank to rest against on all four corners. And so we're going to work on that this morning. I have my digital angle finder out so that I can see what angle I need for these. And then we'll get it cut. Okay, using our angle finder, hopefully you can read this. Got an angle of 64.5 degrees. So the cut should be, so if I subtract that from 90, that should give me my cut. So that comes out to an angle of 25.5 degrees. We will get that cut, and then we'll get a measurement, and we'll figure out our next angle where the crossbar comes across. Well, my next angle came out to 50 degrees. So we cut it at 50, and I forgot to subtract that from 90, so that was way off. So the angle I needed to cut was 40. We took and recut it at 40, added that back onto here, checked it, and that came out good. So now I got to recut this for my length and try it again. Okay, this piece has been recut, so I can check the fit. That looks good. I can shorten it down just a fraction maybe. Yeah, maybe not. That might work just where it's at. I can check the fit on the other side, see if I just have to duplicate it. Actually got to get out of the truck, so we'll let you know what we find there. Okay, so now the real question is going to be if I gave myself enough extra to make a mistake. I need 27.5 inches, 2 pieces. What is 27.5 times 2? .55 inches, and I have 54.5. And missed it by 5/8 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch. Well, that sucks. All right, well, I may have to buy another piece when I go back to Havasu City. Good thing to know that now, because we're going to stack 2 of those to make the back wall back here for the black tank compartment. So, all right, well, we'll get to that when we get to that. In the meantime, I'm going to go back to working on getting the X built for the water tank so we can look at getting it installed. I heard a story that a carpenter once said the nice part about working with steel is if you cut it too short, you can glue it back on and start again. So we scabbed on a little piece, and now we're prepping it for going in where it needs to go. Okay, I've got this fit in here the way I want it. So now we will just tack it in place. Some minor welding. That'll let me do a full X on my foam strips. And then we'll do the other side and do a little bit of sanding and call it good. Okay, my fit is looking pretty good, but I have concluded that this is not the easiest spot to get into to work. This is going to be a pain in the rear, but we'll get it. I have faith. Okay, don't mind the air compressor. Welder was overheating on me. I'm sure it's packed full of dust from being out here in the desert. I was trying to get it blown out, cleaned a little bit. This is plenty good for what I need. I'm very delighted. I'll have a little bit of sanding right in the center at the X. Other than that, I'd call it complete. It furred out, which is what I was after. Got some tacks top and bottom of the joints just to hold it. Got my lateral or sideways weld on this other side up here somewhere. This one done. So now I can move the bar on top. I got 4 more welds on that crossbar, and that has all those side-to-side welds done. And at that point, I'm probably going to take a break, let the batteries continue to recover. As being at 23% this morning, I got a lot of work to do to let them recover. All right, well, I'll get those 4 done and we'll call it good for right now and think about what my next steps are going to be today. Okay, the welder is giving me grief today. Does not want to weld more than a 2-inch line before overheating. Not sure what's going on with that. It may have to go in and get repaired. I've got a lot of welding out of a relatively inexpensive welder, or a low-end welder, for a miller anyway. So we're on hold on the deck plating for right now, turning my attention back to the water tank. So, as I think I said before, sorry, had to come down a little. I've got to put a notch in this crossbeam for it to fit. This is how we're going to do that. I don't know if you can see the scribe mark. We should have about 3/16 of an inch of vertical clearance for the overflow when that's in, and that is with the fitting on the bottom sitting directly on the strut, crossbar, whatever you want to call it. And I could gain another 1/4 inch if I changed to a different style of fitting that recessed in. So this I think works. Tomorrow we're going to work on trying to cut out that notch and weld this piece inside there a little at a time, limp through what the welder will do. Everything's looking really good for this, so with that, I think I'm going to wrap it up for a night. I don't think I'm going to try to cut it out tonight. Who knows? It's still early. It's only like 4 o'clock. Tomorrow they're talking about rain, so I'm going to try to get the big canopy over the truck tonight, just in case, so I don't have all this raw steel rusting on me until I can get it all welded and closed up, like I've got here. So for the moment, that's what I've got. If anything changes, I will let you know. Beyond that, we'll see you tomorrow. Well, we're getting ready today to work on all the stuff that affects the tank. Welding the underside of the deck over top of the tank, so that once I put it in, I don't have to take it back out. Cutting the notch for the overflow to fit through. And then eventually welding in the bottom crossbar, the last bottom crossbar, to retain the tank. And then get in today, hopefully, and mark and drill and put in the inserts for the retaining straps. My hope by the end of today, if everything goes well, is to have the tank installed where I don't have to bring it back out. I can start plumbing it and using it. So that's my goal. That's what we're up to, and we will bring you in as we go along. Okay, we're started. I've got this side and underneath cut. I got to turn around now so I can cut the back side. Where am I? There I am. Back side under here, up to depth. And then we can start looking at what I got to do to cut that piece out. Slow and steady. Okay, we got the rough cutting done. We've got holes that actually go through crosswise. So now I'm going to take a hacksaw blade, see if I can't clean those up and take that piece out. We'll see how it does. So this is actually working. I'm actually delighted with it. It's working better than I thought it was going to. So just another minute or two and I'll have that piece out of there. there it is. The piece is out. And we have a notch. We'll probably have a little cleanup to do, I expect. And somewhere. And that. Yeah, there'll be a little bit of cleanup, but not much. That's pretty tight. So I like that. All right, we'll get a little bit cleaned up out of this and make it so that piece will go in, and then we can start cutting that piece for the fit we need to be able to weld it in. Okay, we took our piece for our notch, cut our length, checked the fit on it. Now we scribed the sides, transferred the marks so that it will set up in a little bit for welding. And we're starting to cut these pieces off so that we can put it inside. And I have to admit, it is much easier doing this up here on a bench than laying on my back inside the truck trying to do these cuts. Okay, we have our piece fabricated and cleaned up. So that is our piece that goes into the notch to allow us to slide the tank in and out. We'll get it tacked in place. And then from there we'll test fit the tank and make sure it clears. Okay, we got our piece tacked into place. We're doing a test fit on the tank, and this is just incredible. What a perfect fit for this thing to slide through. So that is awesome. Yeah, no complaints. We'll get the tank out, get that welded into place, and clean it up, and then we'll move on from there. So you guys are getting a chance to see just how fun some of this is setting up the weld. Trying to get me into a position to reach it is not always the easiest. Alright. Ouch. So I had a friend come give me a hand for a while today, which is why you got the rare glimpse of me actually working. Had someone to run the camera. We got all the critical welds underneath done. I still have to do the back side of these, but once the first weld's done, it's not coming up, it's tight. So I can do all that without having to clamp it. That saved me a lot of up and down on the truck moving this assembly for every weld today. So that was a godsend having the help on that. We got all the way across this thing. Now I can just come back in at my leisure and add the ones that still have to be done in between. We got all the welding over the tank done, so we don't have to come back to that. And so now I just have, tomorrow I can grind and sand the notch, make it clean and smooth. And then from there I should be able to put the tank in, put that last support in, and work on getting the tank strapped down. I didn't get that done today. I planned to. I ended up changing plans while I had the help. We got this other sheet fully welded, or welded enough to get rid of the clamps. So change of plan as usual. We'll finish it tomorrow. So tomorrow I should have a water tank in place and can look at plumbing it. Well, that's it for tonight. I'm going to wrap it up, try to let the solar recover a little bit, and see where we get to tomorrow. So everybody have a good night, and we'll see you in the morning. Good morning, everyone. Back working on the truck again today. We've got the crossbars drilled and rib nuts put in for putting the water tank in. We've sanded and painted our notch up in the other end there. I don't know how much that'll show. I didn't worry about making it perfect. I just made it smooth. It's tucked up inside. Nobody's ever going to see it, so I'm not really worried about it. I've got one more bracket to put in here, crossbar for the tank. That'll get, that's being painted right now. I'm letting it dry, and then I'll get it tacked in and under the water with the water tank, and then we will pull the water tank out and weld that in. And then we're ready to put in the water tank, I think. I think that's the end of that. Okay, water tank is in and at least temporarily plumbed. It's strapped down, so mounting is permanent. And what I've done for right now is I just have a shut off here and a shut off at the tank, and a removable piece of PEX here out to my quick disconnects that I use for filling. So this will let me be able to fill the tank and use it, so that I don't need my bladder anymore. And it's got an overflow, so it's good looking. I checked the spacing. We'll have plenty of room for what we're doing for the tank heaters. We're going to put several on it. Make sure that it adequately stays warm. If we need to, we can add more straps, because we have space to the pieces in to be able to go to 5 straps if we need it. Right now we're at 3. So I think we're good on that. From there we moved on to the deck. I've got this seam in the center closed up. That way when I pick up my next sheet of steel and put it on here, I don't have to worry about getting rust or anything into the deck seam. So that should be good. We've got some of the edges closed up. We took a break for a little bit, let the welder cool down, and now I think we're going to go back to it and do some more welding. Close up some more seams. Probably close up this one, try to work on the far edge, and start working our way down these seams for the ramp. Start trying to close all this up. Okay, that's it for the moment on this update, and I'll probably bring you back and show you where I get to at the end of the day. Okay, we are having a good day. Blue is out from under the canopy. So my work up on the deck for now is done. Although I may cut those first strips to even that out and try to get those in before we leave. The water tank is in. I am getting ready. It's got temporary plumbing. I am getting ready to go and fill it for the first time and bring it back and pump it in the trailer. So, first trip for the water tank. Okay, we are hooked up, hose, and coming in, and we are filling the tank for the first time. Looks like we have about 1 inch of water in it so far. This is awesome. 1.5 inches, 2 inches from the top. That's probably enough water for today for first fill and test run on it. So we will shut this off and go from there. Okay, here we are turning on the temporary setup. We're opening the water, coming on over and turning on the pump. Pump is coming on. We are pressurizing. I guess I need to turn off the water pump, go to power tank fill, and then open the water, and we are filling. Awesome. Okay, first fill from the new tank.